All right, so let's talk GameStop. My name is Mark. I am the stock market jobber. I try to teach people about things. I hope you join our community and recommend it. We got some really happy students who have profited very nicely. And all you got to do is look at some of our recent videos. I mean, I'm not saying I'm right all the time, but I tend to be right more than I'm wrong. And I have it makes sense because I have a really good background to teach this stuff. All right. So I want to teach you, especially if you're someone who's lost money at GameStop. This is to GameStop to me is almost insulting to a trader. These people are not traders that are trading this stuff. That's why they lose so much money. Now, me, I was literally a market maker for 2 years back in the day, as they say. Do I believe that market makers go to work thinking, gee, how can we rip off Reddit retail traders? No. You gotta be kidding me. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Okay. I was also the head of trading at three different institutional money managers. And in that capacity, I oversaw the trading of, probably 12 or 15 different hedge fund strategies. So I was a hedge fund trader. Do hedge fund traders go to work thinking, oh, I'm going to rip off meme traders? Absolutely not. That's some of the dumbest stuff I've ever heard. If you are a retail meme trader and you have lost money, it has nothing to do with a hedge fund or a market maker. It has to do with you did something wrong. You made a mistake. You didn't think it out clearly. All right. Now, let's just look at this GameStop. Every stock has a personality. Okay, look at this one. 10. I mean, this is like shooting fish in a barrel, trading against these Reddit people because they come out of the gate, they just buy, and then guess what? The buying dries up. There's no more people left to buy. At that point, the only place it can go is down. So, as a trader, whether it's GameStop or another stock, you look to make money. Every buyer, there's a seller. Every seller, there's a buyer. There's a buyer and a seller in every trade. So when people talk about, oh, the hedge funds are trying to rip me off, well, let me ask you a question. If you go and buy a stock, the person who you buy it from is selling it to you. You think it's going to go up. They think it's going to go down. Are you trying to rip them off, or are they trying to rip you off? That's whatever. This is trading. All right. Good traders examine themselves, they examine their strategies, they ask themselves what they did wrong, and when they make money, they ask themselves what they did right. Bad traders put their head in the sand and blame hedge funds and market makers. All right. So, this is why I want you to be a member of our community. It's got to the point where I don't just teach people, but I'm also like a trading coach because one of the biggest problems traders have is they can develop a strategy that works on paper, but then when they try to implement it in the real world with real money, their emotions get involved. And emotions are bad for trading. People make emotional mistakes. Like, people get afraid. They get afraid of losing money. They experience fear. And fear causes adrenaline to go. It makes you focused. It makes you do irrational things. This is going back to 2021. Look at the action on GameStop. What does this do? Overreact, falls off a cliff. 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 Okay. Do you get the kind of what I'm getting to here? It's not a guarantee, but there's a real, for someone who knows what they're doing, this is one of the easiest things to trade that I've seen in my 25-year career. And I mean, maybe it happened back in the internet bubble and I just don't remember. But look at just look at the personality of this stock. We overreact, we reverse. Overreact, reverse. Here's an overreaction on the downside. Overreact, reverse. All right. It's because these people that are a lot of these meme traders, they're not really traders, they're just gamblers. They don't really understand what's going on. And that's why you should join our community here because I can teach you what's going on. Did this for a long time. And I guess you could say I'm still doing it. I mean, I'm kind of retired as a trader, but, I like teaching people. My grandmother always said I should be a teacher. Maybe she was right. And I get really upset in a lot of ways when I see people lose money and they blame it on, oh, the hedge fund this or the market maker that. It's trading is like the only thing I've ever seen where people think they can just show up one day and know what to do. No training, no education. You can't just show up one day and be a carpenter. You can't just show up one day and be a lawyer. Whatever profession there is, you need some kind of training and education. People just think, oh, I can just raise some money, quit my job, be a day trader, and I'm going to get rich. Well, unfortunately, that's not how it works. So, anyway, this morning in our call, and you could check out our video from this morning. I mean, it's right here on YouTube. I'm not lying. It's not false advertising. This thing was at $70. And I told people, buy puts. Where did it close? 20 $21 lower. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Now, despite all the hoopla, I want you to look at a couple things here. Look at this level where GameStop found a top. Right around here, right around 63, 64, so forth. Same price that it found a top back here in the height of the memeness. Is that even a word? I just invented it. The memeness. Okay. A lot of times markets run into resistance at levels that were peaks before. There's a reason for that. You can even see it here. Peak here, back in August of 22, GameStop rallied. Where did it find resistance? Where did it reverse? Same level that was resistance before. There are people who bought at resistance back here who, believe it or not, probably, well, still hold their positions. They've been underwater ever since. Finally gets up to the price where they can get out at break even, and they do so. So it's not surprising to me there's resistance around here. The best traders let the market tell them what to do. They don't let some dude like, Roaring Kitty or whatever, fuzzy line. I'm coming up with a handle for myself. I think I'm going to be, I don't know, something bunny, something guinea pig. All right, not a surprise that we ran into resistance around a level that was resistance before. Sometimes the market principles overrule or trump out all the news that's out there. Now, where did GameStop find support after the insanity closed today? Or, right down around here. Low trade to, or see where we closed, like right around 48.75. This level is 47.50. This was resistance here too. Now, not only do markets tend to find resistance at former resistance levels because of buyer's remorse, people bought here trying to sell to get out here, markets tend to find support at levels that were resistance as well. Some price levels are more important than others. It's just how it is in markets. So there are people who sold at 47.50, price goes higher. They're like, I made a mistake. If it gets back to my level, I'm going to buy my shares back if I can at the same price I sold them at. So we can see buyer's remorse by running into resistance at a former peak, and we can see seller's remorse by finding resistance at a former peak. Listen, I was an institutional trader for 20 some odd years. All right. I don't like to date myself. A lot of my students are like, I'm old enough to be their father, but that's cool. Whatever. Experience only comes with time. Um, but don't guess, learn, sign up for our community, check out some of our past videos. We talked about Amazon, I don't know, a week or two ago. This is another example where, something runs into resistance at a former resistance level. Remember, remorseful buyers placing sell orders. Then the next thing that happens is some of the people that want to sell sense like, oh, gee, other sellers are coming into the market. That's why the shares aren't going any higher. So I'm going to reduce the price I want to sell at. And other people see that and they do the same because they know that the buyers are going to go to whoever willing to pay the highest price. All right. So, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Please join our community. I'm very passionate about what I do here. One of the reasons why, when I was in kind of that second stage of my life, like, all right, I'm too young to retire. What the hell should I do? And, one day I was on the golf course and I'm like, I was talking to my brother, he's a, someone I play golf with. And it's like, gee, what could be better than to teach people how to not lose money? You know what I'm saying? Like, what could be better to teach people than to not lose money? Because I hear all these stories about these people that get sucked up in this stuff. They got this big profit on paper, but they don't know how to exit their position. They end up losing. You get a lot of this, with the crypto traders. But anyway, please recommend us. Please hit the recommendation button. And please come back tomorrow morning because the market is an ongoing saga. It like never ends, and things change. It's like the ultimate soap opera. All right, thanks everybody. I appreciate it, and I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully.